Welcome to Lane University. My name's Conrad Layn. I'm going to share a day in life on what it's like from the good and the bad and the ugly. I have one of my cars that was stolen, absolutely totally destroyed, totally hit my income because it's another one of my soldiers that now that won't be able to perform. But hey, at the end of the day, I've had multiple cars stolen, but I've made a lot more money than the issues I've been through, and that's any business. I always talk about earning 6 figures, 7 figures, etc. And yes, you can make a lot of income here, but what I don't like is when us Turo hosts or par hosts only talk about the money. You have to talk about the bad side to give people a fair assessment. So that's what I'm gonna do, people. Hopefully I do this fairly quickly, but I'm currently in my Tesla. Let me give you a quick walk around. Welcome to one of my lots. I have 4 lots currently. This is one of my lot locations where I have quite a bit of my cars. This is my Tesla Model Y. I'm gonna walk over to my Tesla Model 3. Tesla's been absolutely phenomenal. It's giving me 475% profit over what it actually cost. It cost me at the time back in 2018 was approximately around 63,000 for this beauty with full self-drive and a lot of the bells and whistles, leather, but it's earned me time hand over fist multiple, like I said, over 475%. That means over almost 5 times the amount the car costs profit after it's already been paid for, and it's worked phenomenal. Highly recommend Teslas, but at your own risk. But I do love it. This is the vehicle I was talking about. It was totally totaled. People have been stealing a lot of Kias. I own multiple Kias. That's another one of my cars. Let's go down a booking today. Actually, look what happened. They stole this vehicle, and this is the problem. Very clear, and that's my signage. Reserved parking. Each one of my lots have signs so that when my guests come, they know where to park and where not to park, so your car isn't towed. Because if you park in the wrong spots, I don't own the lot, I just rent the lot, but I have 4 lots that I rent. So if you want to start looking for lots, make sure you have some type of signage so that way your guests don't bring back the car, park in the wrong area, and end up getting it towed. But by that time, you should probably know the owners. Even if they park in the wrong area, the owners know me personally, and the management companies know me personally, so they have my license plates on file, which I highly recommend. But as you start growing, that's another story for another day. But back to this. Anyways, this car was stolen. Both airbags deployed, totally gone. This becomes an issue because when the car is stolen, you have to go through an investigation, get a police report, etc. But the point is, it's stressful. It's not fun. I've had multiple cars stolen. It is what it is. Just another day in business. I'm very numb to it at this point. I actually expect it, but it does suck. But I do have 30 cars currently, and what you have to realize is that yes, you might have a few cars that are stolen per year, destroyed, or whatever the case happens to the vehicle. But at the end of the day, it's about having more positive than negativity. So on overall, Turo, HyreCar, Getaround have been very exceptional and great to me. And it's been a wonderful business just renting my cars to these platforms, and also independently. I've won 100 times over. You can definitely do it. You can be better than me. So if you're discouraged, if you're going through an ugly claim like this beauty right here, don't lose hope. You gotta stay strong, strategize, and get out of it. So you have to have proper insurance. So first and foremost, quick tip: you always want to make sure that you have personal insurance. If you're just starting off, maybe you have 0 cars, you're just getting your first car. Maybe you have 1 car, 2 car, 3 car. Or maybe you just have personal insurance, which is totally fine. First, educate yourself in the matter of what DMV requires. In California, I'm in California. I'm a California host. And I have a few of my vehicles also in Chicago as well, but that's with the Avail platform. That's a completely different platform. But start learning the different municipalities, cities, and codes for your city. So for example, in California, the rule is this: unless it's low cost insurance, but if it's regular personal insurance, it's $35,000 needs to be the minimum liability amount that you actually must have for each car. So for example, minimum liability insurance that you could purchase, say from State Farm, Allstate, or any insurance company in California is 15 by 30,000 and 5,000 for property damage, which adds up to 35,000. That's the minimum amount that California DMV requires you to have protection on the vehicle, so that if, for example, I'm operating a vehicle or someone else operates a vehicle outside the Turo platform, or just in general, if you're just driving down the street and you hurt someone, that's the minimum amount that should sustain the average injury. Or the damage to someone else's maybe asset, maybe you have a laptop in the car, so that covers them for that point. That could go both ways. If you only have the minimum amounts and something happens, they could go after your personal assets or your business assets. So what you have to do essentially is you have to figure out what insurance do you typically want. Most people usually get more than the limited liability amount, but what I recommend as you start growing, start educating yourself on how you can bring that price down. Maybe, hey, get personal insurance, and then we start getting to my point where you have like 20 cars. I have 30 cars currently. It might become very expensive where it doesn't make sense to have personal insurance anymore. Yes, I said you don't have to have personal insurance because it might cost too much, but there's other ways around it. Option one, which probably is not that favorable, you can actually get $35,000 if you have it saved. Deposit that with the DMV, you get a certificate, and it's a certificate of proof showing that you have $35,000 there. But that's $35,000 you just locked away in the DMV. You can use it for investing, real estate, getting more cars, etc. But hey, the choice is there though. I don't really like that option, but that's one of the choices. So I just want to share the options. The next option, you can get surety for $35,000. That might make a little more sense. So what happens is surety is not insurance, but it insures surety. Get it? That that if something would happen, if someone's injured in the car, you'll pay up to $35,000. Of course, it go over that if more damage has been sustained, but it covers you. That's usually a cheaper alternative. A surety, start looking into that. Sureties are typically cheaper than insurance. Next step you can consider is one I actually personally like, but this is when you actually get to 25 cars or more. You only get this option if you get to 25 cars or more. Is self-insurance. If you get self-insurance, what essentially happens is you can actually show proof that you can afford at the minimum $35,000 per vehicle that you're renting professionally. So you basically, since you become a rental car company, this is what a lot of rental car companies do. They have self-insurance. They have to show the account. So there's different ways to do it. You can show your actual account, but if you have your actual account, that means you have to show, say if I have 30 cars, 35 times 30, 35,000 times 30, that's 1.5 million. That's pretty expensive, right? It's cheap in the long term. That's the amount of insurance you pay over the longevity of years. Say if you're in business for 10 years, 20 years, will be a lot higher than that. This insurance gets very expensive as you start becoming on a commercial side. But there's a strategy around this. Some people get umbrella policies. You might have heard about it. Umbrella policies are typically extensions that give you excess liability over the limit you currently have. So for example, say you have a personal insurance policy that covers you up to $250,000, right? But the damage that was caused was $500,000. That means your insurance will pay the first $250, but you're left liable. This is basically essentially what can happen on any insurance policy. So what the umbrella policy does, it gives you excess amount of $1 million, $2 million, $3 million. You can get this for business and for personal. So start considering how to actually tap into umbrella insurance. So when you start getting more and more cars, consider getting umbrella policy, because umbrella policy typically, for the most part, anywhere, the prices can vary, but they're very cost effective. So usually just extensions to your business insurance or extensions to your personal insurance. Sometimes you can get standalone umbrella policies, and it might be worth it where, hey, maybe you pay, for example, $3,000 per year, but for all 30 cars, though, because now it's a package as a business. So unique. But I go on and on and on. Start looking at, that's a tactic I'm gonna give you. Start researching umbrella policies. They're very cost effective, but they give you 1 million, 2 million, 3 million. I already told you, if you have 30 cars, that means I would need at least 1.5 million in my bank account. And if I want to use those funds, and it doesn't mean I have to give those funds, I have to show that the funds are there, but maybe I don't want to utilize those funds, get an umbrella policy. But that's just another strategy. But anyways, I digress. These are a few of my other vehicles. These three are going out today. This one's definitely not going nowhere. And my red Tesla's going out tomorrow. So that's really about it. Welcome to my lot. This is one of 4 of my lots. Share, Conrad Layn out. Peace.